It started with the guttural roar of a chainsaw slicing through the morning air, a sound that shattered the quiet suburbia of Willow Bend like a thunderclap. By the end of it all, that same chainsaw would lead to handcuffs clicking shut around wrists that had no business wielding it. But let's rewind to 6 months earlier, when my life was as predictable as the sunrise. I was just a guy in his mid-40s, working from home, fretting over squirrels raiding my tomato garden and the occasional leaky faucet. Willow Bend was the epitome of peaceful living, neat lawns, friendly waves, and the kind of neighborhood where kids still played outside without a care. That all changed when Evelyn moved in next door. She arrived like a storm cloud on a clear day, her moving truck blocking half the street without a hint of apology. Our first encounter set the tone. I was checking my mail when she marched over, arms crossed, eyeing my weathered mailbox like it was a personal affront. "That thing's an eyesore," she snapped, her voice sharp as a knife. "Doesn't meet HOA standards. You better fix it before I report you." I mumbled something polite and retreated, figuring she was just stressed from the move. But Evelyn wasn't one to settle in quietly. Within days, she was filing complaints left and right against the Johnsons for leaving their trash cans out an extra hour, the Millers for their kids' basketball hoop encroaching on the sidewalk, even old Mrs. Hargrove's wind chimes for noise pollution. The neighborhood buzzed with whispers about the new HOA enforcer, but I played it safe. My yard was immaculate. I stayed off her radar, or so I thought. The real trouble erupted on a crisp Tuesday morning. I was mid-Zoom call with my boss, discussing quarterly reports, when the unmistakable whine of a chainsaw pierced the air. At first, I dismissed it as distant yard work, but it grew louder, closer too close. Heart pounding, I excused myself and rushed to the window. There she was, Evelyn, goggles on, chainsaw in hand, hacking away at my century-old white oak tree, the one that shaded my backyard and held memories of barbecues and lazy afternoons. Sawdust flew like confetti in a nightmare. "What the hell are you doing?" I shouted, bursting out the back door, my voice cracking with fury. She paused, revving the engine defiantly. "This tree's a hazard. As the new HOA president, I'm authorized to remove it. It's blocking my view, and per Bylaw 47, Section 3, it's got to go." Her eyes gleamed with self-righteous glee, but something felt off. "HOA president? Since when?" I demanded proof, my hands trembling as chunks of bark hit the ground. She waved a crumpled paper, claiming it was official, and threatened me with a $500 fine if I interfered. Neighbors started peeking over fences, phones out, recording the chaos. I felt violated. Rage boiling inside. His wasn't just a tree, it was part of my home. Turns out, Evelyn's presidency was a total fabrication. A quick call to the real HOA head, Harold, confirmed it. She wasn't even on the board. She'd been spreading lies to bully her way into control. But the damage was done. Deep gashes scarred the oak's trunk. I didn't waste time. I phoned my buddy Jordan, a property attorney, who listened to my frantic rant and advised, "Document everything. Photos, videos, witnesses. This is felony territory. The tree's over 100 years old, worth thousands." He was right. The police arrived within the hour, 2 officers surveying the scene with grim nods. "Ma'am, this is destruction of property," one said, cuffing her briefly for questioning. Evelyn exploded, accusing me of harassment, but the evidence was undeniable. They let her go with a warning, but the seed of war was planted. She didn't back down. The next day, a fake HOA notice arrived in my mailbox. Violations galore, fines totaling $2,000 for unruly foliage. Harold debunked it immediately, calling it fraud, but Evelyn's retaliation escalated. Whispers spread that she was digging into everyone's pasts, threatening anonymous tips to authorities. I wasn't taking chances. I installed state-of-the-art security cameras, the kind with night vision and motion alerts. The neighborhood tensed. Some folks wanted to confront her en masse. Others feared her wrath. Was she unhinged, or just a power-hungry tyrant? Debates raged at backyard gatherings. Should we sue, or let her implode? Karma struck faster than expected. A fierce storm rolled in that weekend, winds howling like banshees. Come morning, a massive dead pine from Evelyn's yard, one she'd ignored despite neighbors' warnings, crashed through her roof, splintering shingles and flooding her living room. She stormed out, drenched and furious, pointing a finger at me. You did this. You sabotaged my tree, she screamed, drawing a crowd. Officer Patel, responding to the commotion, shook his head. Ma'am, that's nature's doing. And funny thing, your own complaints? We've checked your property. Overgrown weeds, illegal fence extensions. You're cited for multiple violations. Neighbors murmured in agreement. Her hypocrisy was exposed. One even shouted, "What goes around comes around." But was it fair? Some felt guilty had we pushed her too far. The climax came under cover of night. At 2 a.m., my phone buzzed with alerts. Footage showed Evelyn sneaking into my yard, chainsaw humming low, resuming her assault on the oak. Branches cracked, the tree groaning in agony. I called the cops immediately, heart racing as sirens wailed. They caught her red-handed, chainsaw still buzzing. You're under arrest for trespassing and vandalism, Officer Patel declared, snapping on the cuffs. She wailed about injustice, claiming I was the real villain for ruining her life. The neighborhood watched from windows, a mix of relief and shock. But the oak couldn't be saved, the wounds were fatal. Watching arborists haul it away felt like losing a family member, tears stinging my eyes amid the sawdust. Support poured in. Neighbors formed a watch group, sharing stories of Evelyn's antics, bonding over the ordeal. Her ex-husband, Victor, showed up unannounced, apologetic and weary. She's always been intense, he admitted, offering to cover damages. He even arranged for a tree specialist to deliver a young white oak sapling, a gesture that softened the blow. Legally, Evelyn took a plea deal. Community service picking up litter in the park she despised, mandatory therapy, and a court order to sell her house and leave Willow Bend for good. Whispers lingered, was the punishment too harsh? Should mental health issues excuse destruction? Or was justice served cold? In the end, we planted that sapling together, the whole block turning out for a tree warming, party grills firing, laughter echoing where tension once reigned. It taught me that roots run deeper than soil. They're in the people around you, weathering storms side by side. Looking back, I wonder, if Evelyn had been your neighbor, would you have pressed charges from the start, trusted karma to bite back, or tried talking sense into her? Sometimes, the line between victim and vigilante blurs, but one thing's clear: communities endure, emerging stronger, their bonds unbreakable.